My name is Rroku, and this is Absolute. Tell me something. What is the point? This life that's given, we never had a choice. We're present now, so I guess we should rejoice. I wanted this song to just have nothing but objective fact, number one. I just wanted this to be what it is, absolute. Not my interpretation of it, not anybody else's interpretation of it, but it being exactly what it is. The greatest weapon is found inside your voice. I'm glad we use it for good and bad, for lies and truths if you happy or sad, a sort of double edges that cuts deep when it's slashed. You better train well with it, you'll be glad that you have. The common theme of anyone who's free is having a voice that's heard. And the idea of that the voice is the ultimate weapon. It's tangible, but it isn't. Like, we can record a voice, but you can't physically hold one. It literally is something that only comes from within. It's also a double-edged sword. A lot of people are using their voices for harm just as much as there are for good. Understanding what you can do with your voice, that's what makes you powerful. Trust in the unknown, the always ever expanding. Fear will have you frozen, don't worry, it's an enchantment. Your will must be steeled, distractions can be demanding. That is my belief and it's where my 2 feet are standing. Another absolute is that if you ever want to achieve anything, you must be incredibly focused. If there isn't a lot of urgency towards your goals, you probably don't want to achieve them so bad. The reason why I'm breathing and why I'm never collapsing, the path of righteousness is the path that will be taxing. Intentions must be pure, don't matter if crowds are clapping, cause once you know this much, there won't be no chance for lacking. So I definitely think when you have that ultimate realization of yourself and you want to achieve everything that your ultimate self wants to achieve, there has to be certain expectations. Definitely an expectation is having a thick skin, but also having a level of really not giving a damn. As long as it is that you know what it is that you're doing is needed to be done to achieve whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. This is how your book was selected to just be written. From the moment I had rope in that tree, was looking tempting. All the answers to my problems I had was self-infliction. Didn't matter who I told, all my words just seemed to miss them. I think no matter what pain it is that you go through, no matter how much you internalize it, no matter how much you even project it, no matter how much therapy you could even seek about it, no matter how much of it you spill to like your personal best friend, there's just something about them never being in your shoes that just will never be fully understood. They could even get 90% the gist of what it is you're trying to express, but no one's ever gonna be you in that moment. I could never understand how most of us just feel nothing if it's only for yourself or you're waiting for second comings. But if Jesus cannot save us, then there's gotta be something that is so beyond our reach, this belief that I'm not bluffing, I should've. I think that moment there is just the peak urgency in a very dire situation. It just feels like no matter what it is that I'm going through, I'm not getting any help. No one is hearing me on this, and I'm gonna have to see the end of this by myself, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna make it or not. I should have died on that day. Anything just to make the pain go away. Halfway through and I realize that it's too late. Miscalculation's the reason the branch breaks. There was an attempt to harm myself, and I did survive it. It was definitely surreal. Didn't know whether to be happy that I lived or upset that I didn't die in that moment. But the younger version of myself thought that this was the best way to handle this. And in reality, it never was. I'm definitely very, very, very lucky that like I'm really still here when I wholeheartedly believe that like I shouldn't have been. Hesitation left my face on the pavement. Took a second to breathe, was in amazement. To say I was in shock, well, that's an understatement. If you saw what I saw, the shit that I was facing, it was terrifying. I just remember telling myself like, holy shit, dude, like what are we doing here? Are we okay? And for a while, we were not okay. It took a while to get better, and a lot had to happen for me to get to this point, but all the highs and lows, it's been very much worth it. If I told you this was easy, then I would be lying. That day forever changed me and I'm always crying. If I had one less second, then I would be flying. I was hoping to be Neo just awake in Zion. I think after a while, I was just like, I didn't want this to be real anymore. I think being unsuccessful at removing yourself was kind of the undo or the reverse card, if you would. But I had just wished I had never done it in the first place. And I was kind of hoping that this was all just some like terrible dream that I was gonna wake up from. And that where I was actually gonna go was gonna be where I actually belonged. But that was not reality. Felt the weight of gravity. Hope that you ain't mad at me. I'm sorry that I almost just caused all the catastrophe. I'm sorry I just caused all the catastrophe. When I'm saying I'm hoping that you're not mad at me, who is the you that I'm referencing to is specifically my family. I come from a third world culture. They don't really know what mental health or the idea of like suicide even is. I'm not even sure if I should say that word, but they don't really have a concept of self-harm. Just being grateful today is the thing that pulls me through now, because I'm just like, wow, man, look at how much I would have missed. At the end of the day, nobody cares. No obligations for pity, it's only fair. Beg for all the attention, nobody's there. Nobody cares, nobody's there. And at the end of the day, nobody cares. No obligations for pity, it's only fair. Beg for all the attention, nobody's there. Nobody cares, nobody's there. With understanding everything that I went through with my own pain, I think the blunt truth, the absolute about it is that no one is really going to care the way that I do. I want people to take away that you need to accept things that you don't always want to accept. What you go through, those are your experiences. And you decide every day if you've made the most out of this moment or not.